At the prison, Diane destroys as she's carried into the space to visit with Jack. She lets him know they took her ring. He guarantees her they'll get it back and inquires as to whether she dozed by any stretch of the imagination. Diane croaks that there was nothing left but to ponder being at home in his arms and having a shower. Jack cautions her now is the ideal time to confront a few troublesome insights. At the Abbott Manor, Kyle questions awakening without Summer next to him. She minded Harrison and crept in with him. Kyle inquires as to whether she's all right. Summer asks how she might actually be. She contemplates whether Phyllis felt torment, or on the other hand, assuming that she was adequately clear to ponder her and Daniel after she spread the news. Toxin. Kyle says he was up a portion of the late evening looking on the web for legal counselors to safeguard his mother, since they're as yet not certain, assuming Michael Baldwin will be their person. Summer exhaust. Doesn't he believe it's somewhat cold-hearted or unreasonable to anticipate that Michael should safeguard Diane in her mom's murder? All at once, Noah and Allie stroll in. Summer hurries into Noah's arms and he holds her. At red lights, Christine tells Chance she recorded the criminal objection against Diane and requests that he talk her through the proof. Chance informs her regarding the toxicology report, the despicable of toxin that is connected to Diane, the savagery that evening, and the historical backdrop of opposing way of behaving. Chris lets him know Jack told her they will argue not blameworthy and request bail. Chance thinks they'll deny her. He asks who is addressing Diane. Chris says that the occupation is as yet open. At Society, Nikki calls Michael the one who re-established her confidence in lawyers. He considers how he deserved the commendation. She says it's what he didn't do, address Diane. In the event that the best legal counselor in Genoa City believes she's blameworthy and won't go anywhere near her, Michael reminds her their constitution accommodates everybody to get a fair preliminary. Nikki sniffs that the initial architects never experienced Diane. Michael concedes he got a call from Jack the previous evening requesting that he protect Diane. Nikki vapor that he can't safeguard the one who killed, quite possibly, of his dearest companion. At the Abbott house, Noah tells Summer he's so sorry they weren't there. Allie makes sense of they were in London and flew back in a hurry. Summer refreshes them on Phyllis's homicide on account of Diane. Allie finds it hard to accept. Kyle concurs. It is. Summer says all the proof focuses to Diane. She doesn't have the foggiest idea why anybody would question it. Allie thinks she appeared to be content and contemplates whether there's something they've neglected. Summer illuminates her significant other that under the right conditions, anybody is equipped for homicide. At the prison, Jack lets Diane know there's a likelihood she'll be denied bail. She blusters that she doesn't actually have a legal counselor. Jack will persuade Michael to take her case. Diane makes sense of that Lauren won't ever excuse him assuming he protects her. She needs somebody who has barely any insight into her past. Every other person needs me dead. Everybody except you and Kyle. She moans that everything is stacked against her. I don't get an opportunity in damnation. Jack reminds her she has him and they'll overcome this together. At Society, Nikki and Michael quarrel about whether Diane is a killer. Nikki says his scorn of Phyllis is rationale, and witnesses saw her compromise the redhead that evening. Victor strolls up and inquires, "What, ask tell, is this about?" At the Abbott house, Kyle demands the blameworthy party actually hasn't been captured. Summer realizes he would rather not completely accept that his mom is so insidious. However, the sooner he acknowledges it, the better. Kyle scoffs about her being judge and jury, and Summer counters that she'll surely be an observer. Noah and Allie attempt to break the pressure. Noah requests that mid-year accompany him and get some food. Kyle says it's really smart. He's actually holding back to hear, assuming that Michael will address his mother. Summer fumes. "Still, Michael Baldwin?" She goes to Noah and says, "Get me out of here. Presently." Allie tells Kyle she's so heartbroken. Kyle considers what he should do. At the prison, Jack guarantees Diane he won't surrender until he persuades Michael to take her case. Diane demands he will not make it happen and cries, "I simply need to get back home, Jack." She mourns that this feels like a bad dream. Jack guarantees they'll help her through this, however she's unconvinced. Diane gripes that Jeremy triumphs ultimately. Jack promises he won't let her compensation for a wrongdoing she didn't perpetrate. Their time is up, so Jack tells her he'll see her at the arraignment. Each second that passes, he's attempting to get her back home. At Ruby Lights, Chance tells Christine that Jack and Diane are persuaded unmistakable killed Phyllis and set her up. Christine questions Phyllis and Jeremy's marriage. Chance says distinct cases it was for security. Chris doesn't buy that Phyllis would quail from Diane. Chance tells her that Jack and Diane outlined him beforehand. He might have killed Phyllis for the cash and outlined Diane. 2 birds, 1 stone. At Society, Victor joins Nikki in inquiring as to why Michael would think about addressing Diane. Jack shows up, and Victor cautions him not to keep Baldwin too lengthy. "He's on my finance." Jack plunks down with Michael, who asks how Diane is holding up. According to Jack, "Not great. We actually don't have a lawyer. I realize you would rather not hear this, however her future is in your grasp." At Ruby Lights, Christine tells Chance with regards to distinct, the sum total of what they have is speculations. Chance proposes he could converse with him once more. Chris believes it merits an attempt and inquires as to whether he's still around. Chance suspects as much and trusts that he's following his funds. Out of nowhere, he gets a call, moans, and says they need more boots on the ground. He hangs up and tells Christine that Obvious settled up with his lodging just subsequent to sending Phyllis's resources for his seaward record. It deteriorates. Nobody knows where in the world he is. At the Abbott house, Kyle whines to Allie that Obvious is behind this situation, having needed retribution on his mother. Allie guesses it seems okay. Kyle recaps the fights in question. Allie surmises he thinks Obvious killed Phyllis and outlined Diane and inquires, "Why kill Diane?" She is sorry, yet Kyle consoles her. He thinks Jeremy appreciates watching Diane endure, and Phyllis was simply inadvertent blowback. He regrets that there's no persuading Summer. The main way out is to effectively defend herself. Yet, they don't have a lawyer yet. At Society, Michael trusts in Jack that he's undeniably persuaded that Obvious outlined Diane, yet he can't take her case. Phyllis was their companion. Jack contends that Diane is exposed against murder accusations. Michael lets him know Phyllis's soul would torment him until the day he passes on the off chance that he protected Diane and Lauren would be more regrettable. Jack says the arraignment is in 60 minutes. Michael growls. Would he say he is actually his final hotel? Across the room, Nikki and Victor watch. Victor is certain Baldwin will make the best choice. At their table, Jack lets Michael know that Diane was cheerful. It looks bad for her to have done this. He grumbles that the genuine executioner is on the roads having pulled off murder. Jack argues, "Without you, we are lost." Sharon rises up out of the back as Noah and Summer stroll into Ruby Lights. She embraces her child and inquires as to whether there's anything she can do. Noah and Summer head to the deck. Sharon joins Possibility and wants to retouch Summer's messed-up heart. "This will be truly severe with the children," he concurs. On the porch, Summer trusts in Noah. "I simply want to let me know she pardons me. I won't ever get that. I'm about to need to miss her like this until the end of my life." At Society, Victor rests on Michael to make the best choice. The mustache brings up that in the event that he took Diane's case, he'd need to request a time away, and he could fire him. Michael gives them an entertaining look and strolls off subsequent to wishing them a decent feast. Outside Society, Jack is on the telephone with Kyle and Allie. Michael leaves, so Jack lets them go. Michael lets him know they need to talk. Inside, Nikki tells Victoria by telephone that her dad recently left. She'll be at the workplace soon and will fill her in. As she separates, a voice behind her says, "Enamoring, simply charming." Nikki goes to see Milton, the bookkeeper, who tells her he's separated. "In the event that there was ever an opportunity for us, Nikki, this is all there is to it." Nikki illuminates him that it's simply not going to work out and cautions her certain individuals would be awkward with how forward he is, like when he maintained that her should live with him on that tropical island. Milton yields, "I can perceive how wrong that would be." He steps nearer and proposes they could buy matching cruisers and ride the nation over, setting up camp and playing guitar under the stars. Nikki clacks, "Dear Milton, I don't play guitar." With that, she leaves. Milton muses, "Nikki Newman, you are a brilliant goddess." On Dark Red Light's porch, Noah tells Summer he wants to have been there and questions why she had the Remembrance Administration so quick. Summer had her reasons and commitments him they'll do something particularly amazing to respect her mother's memory.